Do we even like movies anymore? Let's do a thought experiment. You're on Facebook, scanning your friends' posts in your feed, when all of a sudden you come across an article one of them shared. Quick, is the article titled, 10 Reasons Why Everything's Just Fine? Or is it titled, 11 Disney Characters Who Were Secretly Just the Worst? Time's up, it's the one I showed you a picture of. It's no secret that inflammatory stories sell well, but we're starting to push the envelope for how much inflammation we can fit into a single headline. 25 worst movies ever? What is this, amateur hour? Give me 14 movies I thought were good, but were actually quite bad. No. Dark secrets behind Disney movies that'll ruin my childhood. Yeah, that's what I want. We're inundated with pessimism and cynicism. You can go find articles just telling you how bad all the movies you're looking forward to are going to be this year. Our culture obsesses over entertainment. And not always to appreciate it, sometimes just to beat everyone else to explaining why it sucks so bad and make you feel a little bit ashamed. So I have to ask the question, do we even like movies anymore? Not just movies, TV, video games, entertainment in general. What can explain it? Ironic detachment? Cynical malaise? Are millennials just entitled media junkies who will complain when everything's not quite perfect for them? Maybe. But then again, maybe this is all just indicative of some deeper change going on in society. The key to understanding our relationship with TV and movies may be hiding in the TV and movies themselves. Bear with me. We need to go deeper. Movies and television aren't all about fast cars and exploding cars and talking cars. Movies are where we test out our fantasies and work through our issues. If you want to know what a society's fears and dreams are, look at the media that they're drawn to. Take the Rocky franchise, for instance. It's classic, and watching it today is like cutting rings in the tree of baby boomer history. When the US was feeling worn out after the Vietnam War, Rocky came along to prove that there's a hero hiding inside of all of us. In Rocky III, he solved race relations by befriending his nemesis Apollo Creed. When the US was fearing nuclear annihilation, Rocky put on some star-spangled shorts, flew to Russia, and literally punched communism in the face. In that moment, it was like we were all punching communism in the face.
He's chopping the Russian down!
But Rocky's over, he's old news. I don't care about him. I want to know who are the characters we're dreaming about today. The ones we love so much we'll wallpaper our Tumblrs with endless GIFs and slash fiction about them. Yeah, well, everybody loves Tony Stark, obviously. Robert Downey Jr. is always great. There's everyone's favorite nihilist, Rust Cole. Got Mark Zuckerberg from the Mark Zuckerberg movie. Cumberbatch has been killing it as Sherlock Holmes. And we've got Sherlock Holmes, House. You know, it kind of looks like... Sure, they might deck him out with an Aston Martin or a time machine, but give him a minute and all of a sudden you're zooming into the guy's eye, watching him psychoanalyze an entire crowd based on nothing but what they're wearing from every conceivable angle in a single moment. It's basically a requirement at this point. The one character who can always see through the zeitgeist and get straight at the truth. He's always the smartest guy in the room and he knows it. And he wants you to know it. And he doesn't really have time to care what you think about that, pal.
I think if your clients want to sit on my shoulders and call themselves tall, they have a right to give it a try, but there's no requirement that I enjoy sitting here listening to people lie. My colleagues and I are doing things that no one in this room, including and especially your clients, are intellectually or creatively capable of doing.
And even though they've always got a superhuman brain, they don't always use it for the same reasons. Sometimes he's a joker, sometimes he's a psychopath, sometimes he's just generally insufferable. But he's always got that one friend who at least tries to keep him grounded. But why? Why is this archetype so prevalent? Why is this guy the guy that we relate to? If you're watching this video on the internet, I'm going to go ahead and assume that you're probably Sherlock Holmes already. Don't believe me? Think about this. Let's go back to the days before the ubiquity of the internet, before even our refrigerators had Wi-Fi connections.
You can make and receive phone calls from the refrigerator.
Believe it or not, back in those days when people wanted to get away from the terrors of being outside, the best electronic media they had to turn to was television and video games with nothing but local multiplayer. We were simpler people back then, and that was part of the problem. 10 years ago, the NEA published Reading at Risk, a study examining 20 years of American reading habits. What they found appeared to say that the more we consume electronic media, the less we read. Specifically, that the US is becoming a nation of watchers rather than a nation of readers. The reason that's important is because watchers tend to be more passive, while readers tend to be more active, with better skin and more friends. And I don't mean active physically, I mean active thinkers, actively questioning and learning and studying, Our fear was a future of this. Fast forward 10 years to now, the present. Well, what happened to us? Did we become nothing but illiterate cavemen able to speak in nothing but emojis? Well, the fact that I'm setting this up as a joke should show you that— What? Are you kidding me? Wow, I wasn't expecting that. Is it Huffington Post? Well, way to go, millennials. Although, according to this recent Pew study, it turns out this isn't a problem limited to any one generation. In fact, younger people like millennials who were raised with new media are actually more likely to read books than older generations are, and even use libraries. But at the same time, they're also consuming more electronic media than anyone ever in history, according to a study I just did by looking out my window. Now, if you're like me, at this point you're probably thinking, what's this video even about anymore? I thought we were talking about negativity. Now we're going off into movies or dreams, and we're dreaming about Sherlock because we all secretly are Sherlock, and blah blah blah, literacy rates, blah. I don't care, I got 6 PewDiePie videos I got queued up to watch after this, so get to the point. So let's do it. We are inundated with media. It's inescapable. But rather than becoming purely a nation of watchers or purely a nation of readers, we've sort of created some kind of alternate route for ourselves. I'm not even sure what to call it exactly. It looks like we've become a nation of Sherlocks. We constantly scan our environments, filtering out noise and ads. We cut through what we deem unimportant or uninteresting and focus on the content and data that's relevant to our lives.
Keep you posted.
And we've become increasingly savvy about how to navigate the media landscape. We try to be purposeful about what we consume, the movies we watch, the games we play, the articles we read. And that's what all of the outrage-inducing clickbait is playing off of. The fact that we want to be watchers, but we want to be readers also. We want to be able to think critically about the entertainment that's around us. The problem is that sometimes thinking critically and having something important to say are difficult and they're time-consuming, and for those of us without limitless pills, it's a lot more tempting to just take the shortcut. So the answer to the question at the start of the video is actually pretty simple. You should have said, David, what are you talking about? I like movies, I like video games, I like TV, I like all of it. But cynicism is easy, and outrage sells. That's why I'm kicking off this new series, to propose a change, to create content not as a means to an end, but as art, and to choose to see the art that's already in the world around us, to inspire others to think critically about the world around them, but also openly, and to the benefit of all society, to turn us all into the best version of ourselves. Welcome to Redeeming Review.